Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today's seed of the run is KLH7MS2A. Plug it in, play along with me. Maybe you did some things a little differently. Let me know in the comment section below. We have a Golem run. Now, if you're not familiar on who this Rocky guy is, he is the second character in the Fiend Folio Overheated mod. He's considered a trinket specialist. Using the newly added rock and fossil trinkets, he's quite interesting and there's definitely a different playing style while using him. There's no special stat change, just relying on what you get in the shops, treasure rooms, and deals with the devil or angel respectively. He does have exclusive access to a new area called the subway, which you're seeing now, where he can trade or crush fossils and rock trinkets to get either soul hearts, better trinkets, or just smelt a rock into you, which is pretty cool. Now the rocks and fossils do have different rarities and abilities to them, and some interact with others. I haven't played with Golem enough to know the best rocks or fossils in the game, but that's why we are here to explore and experiment. Now, because Golem utilizes trinkets, he can hold 2 at a time. You just need to know which ones you want to hold and which ones you want to get rid of. I guess that's what makes this character a little bit more interesting than Fiend. You have to decide on what best fits the run on the trinket you see and get. It's very situational and very roguelike. I think it's perfect for the Binding of Isaac, especially the casual players who just want something different in a run. I have no idea what we're about to get ourselves into, but we're all gonna find out together. I do know down in the subway, those are traders. We have Unfinished Golem, Geode Golem, the Sarapus, Bismuth Golem, and the Mining Machine, which I'll explain as soon as we get a chance to start interacting a little bit more with the subway traders. But Golem is definitely an interesting character. So we're just gonna tag along and see what we get. So first item room, we get Angry Fly. Not super pumped about it, but it is what it is. We continue on with the run. I do see a nice golden chest, and Pop's mom's ring gives us a nice little damage up. So now we're looking at 5.19, which is extremely good, especially in early runs. We go to the shop. I pick up 4-volt battery, which is great. It's going to constantly charge your active item while you're shooting enemies. It's a great item to have. First boss is this honeycomb looking dude. I love the design. I love the honeycomb, the bees. It's such a great addition to this mod. Again, this mod is very beautifully well done. Props to the creator. I do recommend everybody downloading in the workshop. Give it a shot, support them. This community can create anything, and this is just a proven fact of it. We get blue cap, gives us a nice little tier rate. Now we're at 3.45. Very excellent. So now we're gonna go down into the subway. The subway, you get access every boss, treasure room, secret room, and I believe that should be it. Oh, and the starting room. So it's very well made. Right now we were just with I think the Bismuth Golem, where you can crush a rock in exchange for soul hearts. But if the rock is a fossil, it will pay you out with the respective additional reward that comes with it. We're on to floor 2, and I just wanted to showcase this enemy right here spinning around. I think it's just an awesome looking guy, and I was excited to fight him. I was a little nervous though. I didn't know what he was gonna do if he was to spin at us. We go to our treasure room. We pop out the wafer, an incredible item. It is gonna take all the damage and reduce it by half a heart. Now, this may not seem like a big deal in the beginning of the run, but towards the womb and beyond, it's gonna half every damage no matter what, even if it's a champion, and that's incredible. You definitely want to hold that down the line. It's gonna help you down longevity wise as well. Our second boss is also a new addition to the mod. It's all about fire and flames, and it's great. I mean, I like the way it looks. I like the way it interacts. It's beautiful. So far we're looking pretty good. We take him out. We pick up penny roll, spawns a penny trinket. It's okay. It's not that bad. But there are different coins in the game, as you see. So you definitely want to utilize it as best as you can. Now with this coin, the more coins you pick up, the more you'll get an all stat boost, which has happened to me before when I started practicing with Fiend Folio. I just didn't get a chance to do it right now. We also get a Rusty Geode. It gives us +6 damage that decays over time. Now again, the Golem heavily relies on trinkets, so we definitely have to go back into subway to see what we can do with that. I go into the Devil Deal. I see Black Moon, which is a new item. I'm not super familiar with it. I just didn't like the way it sounded, so I'm not gonna just take it. I kind of probably want to preserve my HP since this was the first time I was playing with Golem. I just didn't want to deal with that. So the next we're working on is the mining machine. You can exchange your trinkets for other trinkets in the run, and that's what I just did here. And then we're just popping up trinkets. You know, we gotta utilize what's best fits for the run. It's very situational, like I said earlier, and I'm just not sure what interacts with what yet, so I'm just experimenting as you see. But subway trading, it's very interesting. We go on to the next floor and we are in a beautiful water area. I just wanted to point out the lily pads. As soon as you step on one of them, they do disappear, and I thought that was a good touch on the artwork and design. The aesthetics are beautiful. I go into the treasure room. I pick up Inimina Soul. It's actually a really interesting item. I'm not a big fan of it, but I thought I could really combo that well with 4.5 volt. So that's something I really wanted to do, just to freeze enemies in their tracks, as our speed isn't really that high. We're at 0.85. So again, we are down in the subway trading. We pick up Rebellion Rock. Again, we're just testing out these trinkets to see what they could do. I have an Emperor card. I'm going to use it. I pop right into the boss room. We're fighting for Stula, and this is just an example of what I mean by chaining the enemy down. They cannot move. They cannot shoot. They cannot hurt you. So if we can utilize that with our 4.5 volt battery, we can definitely make some plays happen and pivot in our best of our ability. As you see, I can keep using it throughout the floor and throughout the room that I'm in because of the 4.5 volt battery. Now I'm looking at what we have, the gas pocket. Rocks occasionally leak, and I'm just gonna take bottle of water. It's gonna gulp down all our trinkets. I thought that'd be a nice little combo because he does work with trinkets. I take a pill, it's the tears down pill, and I'm pretty upset because we're already at 3.14 and I'm just not too pumped about that. I always want to have a good tier rate when it comes to these Isaac runs. You know, you want those three things, you know, survivability, damage, and tier rate, and right now I just don't have that. We go into the next floor. Belly button spawns a random trinket on the pickup, so I thought that would work well again because of the Golem's gimmick is all about trinkets, so I thought that'd be pretty cool to get. I do get the glass D8. It's gonna reroll our stats. I immediately use it. Our tier rate is up to 4.51, damage 6.64, speed 1.23. Not there with our speed yet. I'm more comfortable 1.6, 1.7, but I'll take it. Now the downside of that is our range did drop to 2.50, which is kind of unfortunate, but I think we can get away with that because we do have Enigma Soul. We could chain enemies down. Now, so what I did was pretty much go into our next guy, Bismuth Golem. He's gonna crush, no, I'm sorry, Sourpuss, the pig. He's gonna smelt rocks into Golem, and that's exactly what I did, just to test him out. And again, I'm just taking my time reading all these fossils and rocks just to see what they can do, because again, it's all completely different and completely new to me. So right now we're looking at Coral Fossil. It's a chance to fire in an X. Not too great. Maybe we can keep our distance against enemies since our range is low, but I'm just not with it. I kind of want to focus on survivability on my HP. Again, since I don't have Satanic Bible, Book of Revelations, there's no real way for me to get my HP back up. We go into our next boss. I'm gonna chain him down immediately. I'm just not playing around with him. Again, our range is really tiny. It's short, and that could be a problem where enemies are constantly shooting projectiles at us and we need to keep our distance. So I chained him down, took him out, and he dropped another fossil. I have room to hold two, so why not? He drops meat, gets a little bit of damage and HP up. Now we're at 6.65, looking pretty good. We go on to our next floor. Looking at our items, we definitely need a little bit of help. So I'll go and I see a new item. It's called Muska. Grants 3 bombs. Bombs spawn 3 random locusts when they explode. Enemies have a luck-based chance. I think that's pretty cool. Again, if anything involving rocks, just for the funs and giggles, I thought why not, because I'm Golem. I think it'd be pretty funny. We find the left fossil. It's very similar to the left hand. All chests are going to be red chests, and I thought, you know what, if there's a way for me to get Guppy in this run, I'm gonna do it. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do now. And as you see, a lot of the rocks around the area are leaking this gas. That is because of the trinket we took earlier and we gulped it down. So I entered this challenge room. I saw the chest. I thought, why not? But I wanted to see if I can get Guppy, a Guppy item, or a Devil Deal item out of these red chests, or a new item. I don't know. Fiend Folio has so many updates and mods in this mod that it'd be quite interesting to see what we get. Now, if you notice my active item, it's ready to charge again. The big benefit of having the 4.5 volt battery is that, especially if you have an item like this, you can constantly use it in the room, and it's very situational. As you see, I'm using it now. These enemies jump. I don't want them to jump on me. I want to maintain my distance because my range is really low. I pick up King of Diamonds. Inflict all enemies as if I had the Midas touch, and I wanted to pick it up because I like the sound of it. I think it's pretty interesting, and it's very situational. Please subscribe to the channel. It means a lot. I love making these videos, and I want to continue making them, so it really helps the channel if you could do that. So again, I'm looking at the fossils. I'm just reading them. I really want to leave with the left fossil. I'm not a big fan of Solar Cane. I'm gonna pop it just because you may never know. It might have a great item into it. And I'm gonna check it out. So far I see nothing but the red rooms. I love the red rooms in this game. That's another great addition. That is not in the mod, that's just in the regular game. It's gonna add pretty much, I think, up to 30 extra rooms, or 15, one of those, and it's pretty great. I mean, you can get a super secret rare item in there. I just haven't got a chance to showcase that yet. So the next fossil we're looking at is gonna spawn a blue Fi in each new room. I want to take that, but again, this is what the beauty about the subway is, the fact that you have to make that decision just based on the run. You can only hold 2. What can you really do? So now, because of survivability is my main focus, just because I've never played with Golem, I kind of want to focus on getting as much soul hearts as I possibly can. Because our range is so low, I know I have to interact with enemies a little bit more closer than usual, and that can be bad for bad damage, bad positioning. And again, positioning is key. If you don't have flight, it's very, very tough. When you're surrounded by enemies, you get stuck, especially with the mod has so much different aesthetics in the game. Terrain is all over the place. It's tough. I found my first guppy item, and I'm pretty pumped with it. Obviously, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to chain everybody down. I pop my mom's foot, knock them out, find some lunch. I'm going to take it, get more HP. Again, survivability is key. I'm looking at the Trinket Smoky Quartz. I'm not a big fan of it. We get our Angel Deal and Vade Retro while held. Non-ghost enemy spawn small red ghost on death. The ghost can explode. I mean, I'm gonna grab it, but I'm definitely not gonna take it. I love the fact that we can chain our enemies, and it's such a good combo with 4.5 volt battery. Also, I've just never used that Angel Deal item. I just don't know how good it can be. So I'm gonna exchange this for some more trinkets, see what I can get. Maybe I could synergize it based off our range. I don't know yet. It pops Spirit Urn, grants 3 wisp from entering a boss or mini boss room. I don't think that's that great, so I'm definitely going to try to exchange it for something else. Shard of Golagotha, I think it's chains the highest health enemy. I mean, I already have a chain active item that can charge within the room. I'm good. Broken Gaping Gremlin periodically begins sucking in all enemies. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want enemies coming into me. And Sturdy Rock grants 1 soul heart at the start of a floor. Now, I love that because, again, survivability is king, and I think that's pretty situational, and in this situation, I want it. Now, I'm not familiar with that enemy, but it came charging at me, so I got scared, and I just chained it down. Now, I go into our next treasure room. I do see this 1 green key. I could only open 1 area, so because of trinkets is his gimmick, I'm going to go with the trinkets, just so I can smelt anything I need to smelt or exchange anything for soul hearts. Definitely want to utilize the subway as best as I could. Gaping Gremlin is going to constantly suck in pickups. I'm not with it. I think that's kind of whack. And I'm going to keep the left fossil. I just wanted to go down back into the subway, see if I want to make any trades, and I'm going to try it now. Now, the one thing I did notice is if you have a trinket in the run already, you cannot go to the mining machine and try to get a different trinket because it's already appeared in the run, so it's not going to pop up. I mean, we're looking pretty capped on our HP, so I exchanged it for some soul hearts, and I'm good, pretty much okay with that. Now, Lucky Geode is going to give us +1 luck. I love having luck. Luck is a really underrated stat in the Binding of Isaac. There's a lot of items that synergize well with luck, and that's something I want to make sure I maintain. Now, I'm not 100% sure if luck ranges with what items you get in the game. Maybe it does, possibly it does. I'm not 100% sure. So I grab the trinket and I go into the pig down in the subway. He's gonna smelt a rock into me, and I think that's a really nice touch in this mod with utilizing Golem. I just don't think I utilized him enough. But you can, whatever trinket you find that you think is good, just fuse it within you. It's great. We go to Mom. I drop my bomb, pop all these poison clouds, try to knock her HP as low as possible. I didn't get a chance to go into boss rush. I guess I took too long in the subway, but it's okay. It's not that bad. Mom popped a couple rocks and fossils. I'm pretty confident with the left hand fossil I have. I just want to make sure I could try to get Guppy. So I go into the devil deal, and there's our second item. Deadly dose, I'm not a fan of, but I do pick up Guppy's eye. Guppy's eye is great, can see into chest, and it's perfect. You want to see what you're getting in front of you. You can see what's in the chest already without touching it. It's a great item. We go into our next floor, and again, I think with the great thing about this mod, the Fiend Folio Reheated mod, is the enemies looks crazy from this point on, and they're extremely disgusting looking, and I thought that was a nice touch. So big props to the creators on that one. We hop into our secret room. I do see time itself item has a chance to fire multi exploding tears. Enemies that are multi can get more damage. I thought that was pretty cool. I never used it. I don't even know what it does, but you need to use as one of these keys into the section. I made a huge misplay. I thought that was gonna connect, and I missed my chance on getting an item. I have no idea what's about, but sounded pretty cool, and I really wanted to use time itself, so that's a big L on my end. I pick up the arcade rock. I'm gonna smelt it, exchange it for something else. Now there is the unfinished golem. You could, which is that guy holding that little blue rock over there. You can blow him up for an additional rock. I didn't utilize him. I probably should have, but it's all right. I have no idea what he did. I went into this run completely blinded, and I was like, you know what? Let me give it a shot. Let me load it up, and let me see what I could do. If I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. So definitely misplay on my end. We go into our next boss. It's the Fallen. I chain him immediately because I know he's gonna charge at me. I drop a bomb on him, pop phase 1, go into phase 2, utilizing my bombs again because my range I'm not too confident in. Multi-dimensional baby pops up. I thought that could be a great addition to the team. I hop into our devil deal. I see spare ribs. Now I do have the Polaroid. I want to try to get rid of these red hearts. Because of the subway system, I can get soul hearts pretty fast. So I thought, let me try to get into Polaroid effect mode. So let me get rid of these HP. I hop onto the next floor. Again, I'm chaining and utilizing all the items I have since I don't have flight. My speed's at 1.23. Very nervous on my range and positioning. So if I have an opportunity to chain someone down, I'm gonna chain them down. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm looking for my secret room. I find it, pops greed, chain him down immediately, take him out ASAP. And that's the benefit of having this combination of the chain and the 4.5 volt battery. It's a great combination. Very rare, so I'm happy to see it. We pick up Bloodstone, Strength and Pain. I kind of like it. I'm definitely gonna keep the Bloodstone. But at first, I want to see what I can get with this Lucky Geo down in the subway. So I'm gonna check it out. Now, it's the decision, again, what makes this playing as the Golem so unique is what decision are you gonna make? Are you gonna use that one trinket you have to exchange it for another trinket? Or are you gonna use it to smelt it inside you? Or are you going to swap it for some soul hearts? And I love that. I love that about it. So I made a misplay. I got rid of my left hand fossil looking thing. I definitely wanted to keep it so I could try to get Guppy. That was a huge L again on my end. But this is what you get, you know, when you play with new characters and you're doing new things, sometimes you make mistakes and mistakes happen. So I'm going through my trinkets to see which one I want to get rid of. And just to get, again, survivability is key. Even though I do have the wafer, and the wafer is going to have every damage from this point on, more HP the better. I take Bloodstone, I leave with that. I find my boss, go straight to it. But I just wanted to take a second to look at these enemies chasing me down. I think it's great, and especially when you pop them, you're still getting chased down by the remaining parts of the body, which I thought was pretty cool. So I ended up picking another soul heart again. Survivability is key. My HP is looking pretty good. I got 2 red hearts and a buttload of soul hearts, so I'm happy with that. I'm confident in my HP now. Not super confident with my range. I'm still sitting at 2.5, but as you see, my damage is kind of scaling, which is great, and that's because of the trinket that I'm holding. Again, that's what Golem utilizing, trinkets. If you can find a great combination, gotta hold it. So I popped my chain on It Lives, did a good chunk of damage before it popped free. And again, you know, I have my chains ready if I felt the need to do it, but again, I felt pretty confident, so I didn't feel the need to do that. It Lives drops Molten Fossil, passively improves smelted rocks. I mean, I might as well take it, just because, I mean, I have room for 2, why not take it? We go into the Cathedrals, Curse of the Blind, not a big fan of it. I go into my Curse Room, I'm 1 away from Guppy. Usually I don't take blind items like this, but I'm with it. I take Heartbreak, Eternal Sorrow. I'm not 100% sure what it does, but I'm down at this point. New items are great. I'll find a way to read it later. I pick up Black Lotus. We're fine with our HP, so this was just more an addition on top to what we have already. I continue on the floor, and as you see, the trinket that we popped and gulped earlier, creating this gas around rocks that are exploded, actually benefited us. So far it's not bad with Golem utilizing these trinkets. I may have not figured out which trinkets best worked with each other, but somehow I'm making it work with what we have, and that's what you got to do when you do Isaac runs. Even if it's a mod or any type of run you have with any character, you can win any run. It's not impossible. You just really have to focus and try to find combinations with what you're given. Like I'm doing now. I got my chain, I locked down Isaac, I popped him with my gas bomb, and I'm doing pretty good. I'm also utilizing multi-dimensional baby because I can chain him down. I'll just go back and forth, or as you see here, I'm staying still, and my damage and shot speed is increasing because of multi-dimensional baby. And because of that, I was able to knock out Isaac as quickly as I did. Chaining him down is huge, extremely clutch. We go into our chest. I'm pretty pumped with these items. As you see, I can see within them Hematosis, or yeah, it's whack. Marked is horrible. The Leech, very situational, So I'm gonna take them. Telepathy for Dummies, I'm not a fan of, but it's a book. If I can find 2 along this, I'll get Bookworm. Why not? Now I love these enemies here. These enemies will swallow up other additional enemies in the room, and then they'll shoot off a range of attack. I think that's pretty cool. Pretty cool enemy, so I just wanted to showcase that before I continue. I do see Pinhead. It's a luck affected against. Luck is really good. This is luck affected chance to shoot sowing shots. I'm not even super familiar with what sowing shots are, but I thought that was pretty cool too. Anything that can help scale our damage and help us within the run, I'm gonna take. Now continuing on to the floor, I get the Fallen and Little Horn in one room. That is pretty tough, so you really want to focus on one at a time. I chain down the Fallen. I don't want him chasing me down or popping any brim on me, so I'm trying to pop him as quick as I can. Eliminate phase 1. I got the Leech doing his thing. I'm popping him with my Soul and Pin Needle, and I take the Fallen out. Now time to work on Little Horn. My chain is ready, so I'm gonna chain him down and utilize the best out of my ability. Again, because our range is so low, it worked out perfectly. Now before fighting Blue Baby, I do see another boss, but look how much poison clouds in the air because of my rocks that blown up. So it worked out perfectly. Took a big chunk of his HP out, chained him down, and it was Murder She Wrote after that. Finally make it to Blue Baby, and I'm pretty pumped. I think I got this down. Even though we didn't have any type of way of maintaining our HP, like Satanic Bible, Book of Revelations, we found a way to utilize the subway to get our soul hearts. Our damage, the scaling just based off a trinket, so we took care of that. No magic mush or crickets had needed. Our tier rate, even though it's 4.51, that is not that bad at all. I'm gonna utilize multi-dimensional baby to get that increased. Got the dub. Like the video, subscribe. I appreciate everybody watching, and I appreciate anybody who continue on from before. This is great. I definitely want to continue with Fiend Folio runs. Thanks everybody.
Yeah.